What is up, people? Yeah, I know I did this video last night, or I did a video last night, and it was because I was holding on to a bullish Bitcoin trade, and it just happened to go my way. Man, I've been sitting here looking at everything today, and man, everything's just been kind of sliding. Nothing's really been going on today. It's been one of those slow days. So I thought I would take some time to look for some setups, see what could possibly happen. Maybe look into, I don't know, just different coins in general. I don't want to put too many on the table. Sorry if I'm moving this around. I don't want to put too many on the table, so I didn't want to give anybody like too much overload. But I just wanted to at least give people something to check out. So let's go ahead and just head on over to the charts. Why shall we not? I know first is going to show up audio. Don't worry about audio just yet. We are not going to worry about audio. I want to look at Bitcoin. Okay. So last night, whenever we were talking about Bitcoin, it had just gotten above here, right? Just gotten above this 0.27, and I remember I talked about getting to the green point because that was going to be about halfway through, a little bit less than halfway through the fair value gap. Now, what I wanted to do, look, I haven't left the lines here. This is what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to fall down just a little bit. That way, when it got to the bottom, okay, that way it would break through fair value gap number 1, fair value gap number 2, and then it would hit right here, right? This would be your breaker, even though I don't have it listed as a breaker. This would actually be your breaker, right? So, once it comes down, hits in basically starts the initiation process of that breaker, of touching that breaker, that's when you're going to start seeing Bitcoin start moving upward. And look, it's already started doing it. So let me move over here a little bit. And one thing I said I didn't want to see was it getting down here to the green area, which would be the monthly fair value gap, right? So here we are. Now, on the way down, what it has done is it has created multiple order blocks, multiple bearish order blocks, which means there has been a green candle right up, and then a larger red candle going down, right? And then it'll move sideways for a little bit, and then it'll be a green candle going up, and then a larger red candle going down. It'll move sideways for a little bit, and then it'll be a green candle going up, and then a larger red candle going down. And it just keeps doing it and doing it and doing it until we get to where I thought we would get to, which would be the order block. Not the order block, sorry, the breaker, your 1 hour breaker, which is right here, right? I'm right now in the 5-minute chart. I probably should be in the 1 hour. That way, I can give you guys a little bit better idea of what's going on. Because like, you can just see these things dropping off. Because remember last night, whenever I got into that trade, I mean, it just took off. And then today, what has it done? Slowly but surely just drooped down, just like I thought it would. I thought I haven't said, and I haven't posted something on mine. I said, let's play a game. Which way do you think but Bitcoin is going to go next? I said up. I said, but what it's got to do first is it's got to drop until we hit the bearish order, or the oh god, I always forget the word breaker. Until it hits the bullish breaker. Now, once it's the bullish breaker, then we should start seeing everything start to unravel. All right. So now it has hit that 1 hour breaker, right? Got down to the bottom. It has come up. Here is where we have another negative order block. It has taken, to be honest, it's taken about 2 hours for it to try to get above this order block. After that, what I want to see is right here is you have the midpoint of here and here, right? Of the top of or basically the bottom of the order block. So if we get back down to like the 15-minute, there it is. That green candle and the top of the green candle, right in about in the middle, is going to be about the mid of the order block. Now what we want to see is, look what it's done. It's come up near that order block and then got rejected. All right, pulled back down, came back up near it, got rejected. All right, now this is telling me that look what just happened. Boom, boom. Oh my god, perfect timing. Perfect timing. I couldn't have caught that at a better moment. And it's funny, I was actually long on Bitcoin because of this. So we should see Bitcoin start to move on up, to be honest. Okay, so now your next bearish order block is going to be right here where this green candle is. But considering that we've already had this, the candle that we just went up and hit, right? If you look all the way to the left, you hit this, you have this green candle right here. That was already your bearish order block, right? That candle already came up and hit this bearish order block. So it's not going to reclaim it twice, more than likely. Now we're going to see, what I think we're going to see is we're going to start seeing, we're just going to start seeing the green candles come out of nowhere. Basically, all these order blocks that have prevented price from getting higher, right? And price comes down, comes back up, hits the order block, goes down lower. Same thing here, price goes down, goes sideways, goes down lower. Now we're going to start seeing all that start being ripped away, basically. Or at least I hope so. I mean, look at this. We're already almost out of the first fair value gap. This is perfect. I couldn't have picked a more perfect time to catch this on film. Now it's going to act like it's going to drop. Of course it is. The reason it's going to act like it's going to drop is because it's going to try to get people to chase it. It's going to try to get people to sell and think, oh, it got too high now. Now that it's really high, now we all got to sell. Don't let that fool you. Don't let that fool you at all, because what it's going to do is it's going to make people think that it's going to sell, and then it's going to continue going up. If it doesn't, give it 5 minutes. It'll continue going up. Okay. And actually, I was going to try to get through this fairly quick, but now that we've seen some mighty good action already, we might want to sit here and watch some Bitcoin for a second. And while we're sitting here, I always do this. Sorry guys, I always put my face on here, and I get in all your guys' ways. So, all right, there we go. Hopefully you guys can see a little bit better now that my face is not in the way. Even though YouTube says it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, this is like I do this all the time. I have the same settings all the time. I don't understand. I'm sure you guys can see it. If not, I'll just upload it later. But right now we have Bitcoin, Bitcoin at 48,290. When it wasn't even, what, 10 minutes ago, it was at about 47,960. Okay, so it did hit let me see which line this hit. It hit one of my dotted lines. Oh, okay. So it hit the it did hit a bearish order block, but a bearish order block that's been obstructed quite a bit. So I don't even know if I would even consider that a bearish order block. I mean, it is being stopped right now. Right now, well, actually, no, it's not. It's going right through it. As you can see over here. Okay, so now what we got to watch for is we have to watch for the green candles, any type of thick green candle, right? It's going to be at kind of like the top near those order blocks, right? We're going to have to watch those, right? Once the price hits that, we're going to have to see if there's going to be a rejection off of it, how far of a rejection there's going to be. And then if it's going to continue pushing forward, that's what I'm going to be looking for. Because to be 100% honest, I'm in a trade, so there's no way I can't look away from this right now. And this it's this. Yeah, see, it's already pushed on through it. You gotta watch out for them getting halfway through those candles and then getting a big push back down as well, which is what seemed to pretty much kind of happened here. Got about halfway through, got a big push down. All right. All right, now no more big green candles, right, up until about right here, which is going to be about even with this order block, this red order block right here. even though this is a doji, kind of like a doji candle. It's about on even on par at the bottom of this kind of thickish candle here. So we'll see what happens. I think it's going to continue to keep going. I personally want to see this get over this current, or at least break above this last order block. And what could happen is it could start, maybe actually start to pull back a little bit to try to entice people to try to start selling. Also, at the same time, if it does that, it's probably going to pull back into this fair value gap a little bit. Perfectly fine. That's what I would expect it to do. I would expect it to pull back into the fair value gap, probably hit the top of this red candle over here. If it doesn't, it'll just continue on upward. Alright, well, it might take some time. Who knows? This could be one of those things where I switch. As soon as I switch to a different one, it's going to all of a sudden shoot up. So we'll have to go back and forth between that and Ethereum, okay? So Ethereum is my next one. The setup for Ethereum already happened. I was watching it happen as it happened, and I'm already in Ethereum. Sorry, guys. So you have, as Ethereum was breaking down, right? You have this red candle here, down candle, then it comes back up, and then you have another red down candle. That last up candle, that is your breaker, right? Because once it goes down underneath it, it could get caught underneath it, and that would act as resistance. But instead, what does it do? Boom, goes right through it. And also, there's another one right here too. Same thing. Red candle, green candle, red candle. So there's a down, up, down moment. It goes all the way down, down, up, down moment. All right. So then it breaks through both of those. So since it breaks through both of those, it breaks through both breakers. So now that it breaks through both breakers, what I was expecting it to do was to come all the way back down to the bottom of this breaker, right? And as soon as it came down to the bottom of this breaker, jump in. That's where I would expect to jump in at. And that's where I did jump in at. So actually, let me double check and see on because I'm actually doing both ETH Coin M and Coin S, so I'm doing both US coin, and I'm using both the ETH coin. Alright, I got 3437 and 3436 on both of them. Man, the spreads are killing me. Right there is where it's throwing me at. So it's I'm underneath right now because I bet a lot, and when I bet a lot, the spreads are killing me. But don't worry, don't fret. If you haven't jumped in yet, it's all up to you if you want to jump in. This is not financial advice. As you can see, the bullish candle did pull down a little bit, and it hit the red candle here, so that would make that the bullish order block, right? Exactly what that did, made that a bullish order block, and it would continue. And it looks like it's going to continue upward. There's not much of a fair value gap in there. All these are wicks. It looks like this is all balanced. Even when you get here, this is what I am personally looking for. This is going to be my first take profit. Is when we get past this first height, or when we get past this first hill. Why? Because there's two equals, right? And also there is a bearish order block as well, so it could potentially hit it and then backtrack. So I do want to take potentially some reward here, in case it does backtrack a little bit further than I want it to. But this is going to be my first take profit. Let's go back and look at Bitcoin. Oh, it's actually pulled back a little bit further than I thought it did. It's okay. So what I would expect in this case would be for the bullish order block to help me out here, which would be this guy right here. So whenever this red candle comes down here and touches this green line, this green dotted line, actually I probably need to make that darker so you can see it. And I would expect that to return around and actually start floating the other way. Or right now it's hitting the fair value gap. It could just hit the fair value gap and turn around and start going the other way. Either or. I'm not 100% sure. It's looking like it's wanting to just stay on the fair value gap. Alright, here we go. Looks like the Ethereum came down, hit the bearish order block, or sorry, bullish order block. Hopefully we do get that push up. Alright, next setup I had that I looked at was actually Zcash. Zcash, sorry guys. As soon as I spotted it, I jumped in. There is another order block right here. Not order block. Well, yeah, kind of an order block, but it's also a breaker, right? So, which is this last green candle that goes up before the big breakdown, right? And since there is a down, up, down moment, the last up candle is going to be your breaker. So I put the box around that whole candle, drew it all the way across, and as soon as the price entered into that box, I entered into a long. So and with these being equal highs, or at least close to equal highs, I'm hoping that this will be my first take profit. Be right around in this area, right in here, around 144,229. I know there's a big spike right here, but that's just a liquidity spike. That's really not much anything that has to do with the structure of the the wave, or the structure of, you know, the chart itself, I guess you could say. What I am kind of worried about, though, is that once it does get above, there is some other equal highs right here. Right? And that's also halfway through the bearish order block about. So the bearish order block is this green, the last green candle up. Right? So if I take this and go over, it could be about halfway through. Right, we could come up and get about halfway through that bearish order, or sorry, that breaker, or sorry, the bearish order block. Could get about halfway through. We could see it reject, and once we see it reject, I'm hoping that these red candles right here are going to act as support, and then as well as the actual breaker itself is going to act as support, and that way it'll bounce off of this and then continue on moving up. Next setup I found was going to be synthetics. Synthetics had something similar to Zcash, right? So there was a last down moment right here. Right, so I know this is going to sound strange, but considering this is one of the last down, this little bitty red candle here, last down candle before it pushes up and then drops immensely, goes sideways and then pushes up, and then finds support right at that same line. Where it finds support at that same line, that's where I think we have a breaker. All right, so that would be your bullish breaker. So now that it dropped through this way and it came back up through this way, it came back down, found support. Now that we have a bullish breaker, right, went all the way up, came back all the way down, hit the bullish breaker again, and then I'm just waiting. Actually, you know what? It did move up just then, didn't it? I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put a small little piece in here on synthetics. All right, and then dot would be dot's interesting because we have a daily order block, or sorry, a daily fair value gap that goes all the way back to here. Before that, we have all of this that went all the way back down to here, and this was, you know, in July. So right now I'm just following this up, jumps into the daily order block halfway through, gets about halfway through, and then boom, rejects all the way back down, right? So then it clears out all of this sell side liquidity. So now I'm not worried about anything down here, right? What I'm worried about is what is up here, right? I'm not worried about this big spike down in the middle, right? What I am looking at is, I should have drew it out before I came, or before I had this up, but this right here to this right here, that would be your fib that I would be looking at. As you can see, it came down, touched it beautifully right at the 61.8, and then after it touched it beautifully at the 61.8, rallied up, and then guess what? Bearish order block. So that last green candle, that, I don't know if you guys can see it. Oops. Oh, come on. There we go. The last green candle right here. And they got that goes up before it goes down. As you can see, it comes down, presses the 61.8 beautifully, comes on back up, and then presses into that bearish order block. Now pressing back out, and now it's looking like it's wanting to turn back up into it and wanting to press on, and that's what I'm watching for. I'm watching to see if it's going to actually press into this bearish order block again. If it does, I want to see it break the halfway point. If it does, once it breaks the halfway point, I want to watch it pull back, right? I want to watch it pull back as far as it can before I enter a position, okay? Next up, I have ADA. ADA, all right. Cardano has been really finicky, really finicky here the last couple of days. Ever since the Lorenzo announcement last Sunday, it's been really finicky. So what I did is I noticed that were kind of equal highs, even though there were spikes through it. It didn't matter. There is liquidity underneath here, right? It means there are people that have buy orders, right, or sell stop orders right underneath here, or buy orders right around here. I have a feeling this could actually drop lower, right? It looks like it wants to go higher. There's equal highs here. There's some equal highs here, but I have a feeling this wants to drop lower. And where does it want to go? I have a feeling it wants to get around to the 70.5 on the Fibonacci. So from, if you put your 100% at about 1022, and of course the high is at the current high, so that'd be 3.101. It would fall. I personally think it would start digging down into right around the 1.585 area as the lowest, maybe the 1.649 area as the highest. That's going to be just below that dig down right here, right? You see this kind of dig down? I don't know if you can see it or not. Because as it's coming up and then it gets to a high point, then it digs down and then kind of arches up and goes in a way, right? I think it's that dig down part. It's going to try to get underneath that. I think there's liquidity right underneath there, and it's going to want to try to get underneath it and hit this bullish order block right there. So right there's your bullish order block. Let's turn that green so it doesn't look so ugly. And that's where I think your ADA is actually going to start turning bullish again. So that's just my personal opinion. This is just what I'm observing right now. It just looks like this is too clean for it to be a perfect support area. I don't think it's going to be a perfect support area. I think we're going to start seeing some jabs down into it. It's still on the premium side as well, meaning that if we were to flip this around, to reverse, boom, it's actually right on top of the premium. Wow, I didn't even realize that. So if we flipped it around, the 61.8 is actually where this line is right here. So this is exactly anything here and above is where smart money would want to sell. So that's why I think through this area right here isn't safe to buy. I think this is going to be a sell area until it gets back down to here. And when it gets back down to here, that's going to be about the 70.5 area. And then that's when it's going to be safe to buy again. Okay. Next up, we have HNT, which is helium. If you guys don't know anything about helium, helium is going to be basically the next. We gotta hope it beats out Elon Musk's whatever his internet is. But basically, anybody and everybody that wants a hotspot can get a hotspot. You can mine with your hotspot, as long as the area isn't too clustered. I put the link in the description below. You can click on that link, see if your location is eligible. They'll send you a hotspot, and you can start mining, as well as people basically are going to start using this as the new internet. It's going to be low radio wave activity, basically, and then everything's just going to be bouncing off each other's phones and bouncing off each other's hotspots. You don't have to worry about paying, T-Mobile, or you don't have to worry about paying Sprint or anything like that. You're just going to have to worry about making sure that you have enough H&T in your account, or you have enough H&T on you, or if not, there's I forgot what they call it. There's another way you can purchase data for this plan. And I think it's like $1 for every 10,000 units or something like that. It's really, really cheap. So I'm watching this right now to see what's going to happen. It's not been institutionalized yet, so I can't really give a good idea of what's going to happen. I just see that we have some equal highs here, some equal highs here, and I'm not for sure which direction it's going to go. It has been going anywhere in between about $18 and about $25. So I personally think it's going to go up until we hit about right here, about 22, and then it's probably going to drop again. That's what I personally think it's going to do. And then until we can, I'm not for sure, until we can get some more people mining it, we'll have to see exactly how this is going to turn out. But this is a new one that I like, is CNNS. CNNS. Now, what is CNNS? I will have to actually show you. 1 second. So, 1 second here. While I pull this up here. Okay, so cnns.io. It's actually for Neo. It's there we go. Crypto Neo Value Neural System. It's actually really, really cool. Okay, so from over 150 countries, #1 in China and top Korea. Average session duration over 18 minutes per day. Inclusive trading services. 24/7 crypto news aggregation, real-time pricing. So this is going to be one of those ones that's going to try to predict, the future of pricing and things like that across 250 exchanges, 300 senior consultants, and robo advisors. All right. A robust ecosystem, 500 international community leaders, 1,000 content contributors, 300 blockchain project entrepreneurs. This is a huge project, guys. So don't sleep on CNNS, please. Just take a look at all the stuff it's got going on. CNNS information terminal, news media, news-driven analysis, news analysis, fundamental analysis, asset management platform, which I call CAMP, trading and investment strategy. I mean, it can just go on and on. Just remember, just cnns.io, and you will be able to check out everything. I mean, it goes back from when it launched back in 2017 all the way up until this year. Last quarter, Q4 of 2020, crypto neo value neural system in shape to build leading investment platform. So do not sleep on this one, guys, please. This is going to be interesting, that's for sure. Going to be very, very interesting. All right, now last but not least, we are going to head to audio. One of my favorites, because it's gonna kick the middleman out of the music industry, and I think it's gonna take some time to get built up, but once it does, audience all the way. That's all I can say. Right now, it is at the premium level. But if you look to the left, there should be some, should be some fair value gaps and or some, I think those are just fair value gaps. Yeah, those are fair value gaps. So dipping down into them, coming right back out. So hopefully we should see Audius continue to move on up, even though it did have that big dip. Everybody had that big dip last week, guys, so sorry about that. But this one looks like it should continue to move on. It is right on par, right there, to be right at the 162. So if it hits the 162, it's going to hit the high. So 162%. So anyways, that's what I got for you guys tonight. That's all I am going to do. If there is anything else you would like me to do, I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it. I did too much last night. So thank you for watching as always. And remember to always just wear your pants.